It was just one night, but by morning, my entire life had already changed. The world didn't announce it. There was no sign, no warning. Morning arrived the way it always does, quiet, unapologetic, unaware of what it interrupts. Sunlight crept in like nothing extraordinary had happened, like hearts hadn't shifted, like destinies hadn't bent during the dark. But inside me, nothing was the same. My name is Jessica, and I never believed a single night could rewrite an entire future. I believed love needed time. Days, months, years. I believed it grew carefully, slowly, with guarantees and plans and safety nets. I believed it needed structure, proof, logic. I was wrong. Sometimes love needs only honesty. And one quiet night where two hearts stopped pretending. I met Ethan during a phase of my life when I wasn't searching for anything, not hope, not excitement, not love. I was tired in a way sleep can't fix, emotionally drained, quietly guarded, carrying disappointments I never spoke about because naming them made them heavier. I had mastered survival without expectation, learned how to keep my heart functional but locked. I believed sudden connections were illusions we told ourselves when we felt lonely. I believed control was protection. Ethan didn't arrive to challenge that belief. He arrived without noise. He wasn't loud. He wasn't charming in a way that demanded attention. He was calm, grounded, the kind of man whose presence lowered the volume of the world instead of adding to it. The kind of man who didn't rush to fill silence, who let it exist until it softened instead of suffocating. That night, the city felt different. Rain had washed the streets clean, leaving behind shimmering reflections of streetlights like thoughts you don't say out loud. The air was heavy, charged with something unnamed, like the world itself was holding its breath. We talked. Not to pass time. Not to impress. Not to escape loneliness. We talked the way people do when they accidentally meet at the exact right emotional moment. About fears we never admit. About mistakes that still lived inside us. About dreams we were afraid to say out loud because saying them made them real and fragile. I don't trust my feelings anymore, I confessed, my voice steady, even though my chest felt anything but. He didn't rush to reassure me, he didn't interrupt or minimize it. He merely looked at me and said, "Feelings don't hurt us, silence does." Something inside me cracked open. Not painfully. Relievingly. Time slipped away without permission. Midnight came and went quietly. The world outside faded, leaving only two people sitting closer than necessary, pretending not to notice how the space between them had changed. Then there was a moment. Just one. Our eyes met, and everything unsaid rose between us past. The fear, the wanting. "I don't want this night to end," I whispered, almost afraid of how honest it sounded. "Then don't let it be just a night," he replied. No pressure. No urgency. Just truth. That night wasn't about bodies, it was about souls, about walls lowering, about allowing someone to see the parts of you usually protect at all costs. By morning, sunlight filled the room, soft, fearless, and for the first time in a long time, I wasn't afraid of what daylight might reveal. Because something real had formed. Not obsession. Not infatuation. Connection. As Ethan held my hand, his fingers warm and steady, I realized something terrifying and beautiful at the same time. Some nights don't pass. They stay. And whatever happened next, my heart had already chosen. Because that one night of feelings was quietly becoming the beginning of a lifetime. Morning didn't erase what happened that night. It tested it. Sunlight slipped through the curtains like a question neither of us was ready to answer. Ethan was awake. Before May could sense it in the careful way he stayed still, like moving too fast might break something fragile between us. I opened my eyes slowly. For a second, I forgot where I was. Then everything returned words, the honesty, that irreversible shift inside my chest. "Good morning," he said softly. "I didn't sleep much," I smiled. "Me neither," he admitted. "My mind wouldn't stop. Neither would mine." There was no awkwardness, no regret, only awareness heightened, delicate, like We were both holding something precious, without knowing where to place it safely. We talked about simple things: coffee, the weather, the day ahead. But beneath every sentence lived the same unspoken question: what are we now? When we stepped outside, the world looked unchanged. People passed by, cars moved. Life continued exactly as it always had. No one noticed that my heart had quietly chosen a different direction. We didn't kiss goodbye. We didn't promise anything. But when he said, "I'll see you soon," the word soon carried more weight than any promise ever could. The days that followed felt strange yet dramatic, just unfamiliar. We didn't rush labels, we didn't announce anything, but something had shifted. The way he looked at me more pressed, and something softened in me too. I was less guarded, more honest, even alone. Then fear arrived right on time. What if this was just intensity? What if reality erased what emotion created? I noticed Ethan growing careful, not distant but cautious. Whenever conversations drifted toward the future, he hesitated. One evening, I asked quietly, "Are you afraid of something?" "Yes," he exhaled. "Of what?" "Of losing this," he said. "Every time I've loved deeply, life has taken it away." His honesty didn't push me away. It anchored me. "I'm scared too," I admitted, "but I don't want fear choosing for us." "I need time," he said softly. Love doesn't always arrive ready. Sometimes it arrives wounded. Weeks later, life intervened. An opportunity, another city, demanding work, uncertain return. "You should take it," I said before he could ask. "Do you want me to?" he asked. I wanted to say no. Instead, I chose love over control. I don't want to be the reason you don't. Distance didn't break us immediately. At first, we talked constantly. Calls, messages, shared silence across time zones. Then slowly life crept in. Shorter replies, missed calls, postponed conversations. Love doesn't disappear quietly. It fades loudly inside the heart. One night, staring at my phone long after midnight, I realized I was repeating my old pattern, loving deeply, silently, pretending I was okay. I refused to live that way again. When Ethan returned briefly, exhaustion lived in his eyes. We met where it all began. "You've changed," I said. "So have you," he replied. Affection remained, but distance had left fingerprints. "I don't want to lose us," he said, "but I don't know how to hold you without hurting you." "Loving me shouldn't feel like a risk you're managing," I said. Silence answered. That's when I understood something vital. Love alone isn't enough. Choice sustains it. "I need to know," I said, steady despite the shaking inside me. "Was that night the beginning or just a beautiful memory you'll carry forward?" "It was real," he said finally. "I was just afraid of how real." "I don't need promises," I said. "I need presence." Then let me stop running. We didn't change everything overnight. But we chose each other deliberately. No more half-holding. No more silent suffering. Love became quieter and stronger. Months later, watching city lights together, he took my hand. "I thought it was just one night of feelings," he said, "but it taught me how I want to love for the rest of my life." That night didn't promise forever, I whispered. It prepared us for it. He kissed my forehead slow, unafraid. Some loves don't begin loudly. They begin honestly. One night opens the heart. A lifetime is built by choosing it again and again. And this time, we both chose love.